Our playoff march was stalled as the Leafs lost 6-4 to the Canes. Our playoff march continued! Toronto Maple Leafs have named Dion Phaneuf the 18th team captain in Leaf history. Leafs, beast in the East. And the Leafs are rocking it out in the Music City. Oh man, that was great. For those of you who are watching on Leaf Space, I'm really sorry about the delay of the other video, but I've been having some problems with my account, and I actually had to create a new one. If you look around, you'll see the account name. But anyways, first period, the Leafs get things off started on the right track with Dion Phaneuf nailing Ruutu, and then Grabovski hammering Corvo. But unfortunately, Caberlet is penalized for tripping Skinner. But if you look on the replay, Skinner just stepped on Caberlet's stick. Jeez. And then later, Gunnarsson is penalized for high sticking. That proved costly as Corvo blasts one from the blue line. It deflects off Phaneuf's skate, and it's 1-0 for the Canes on the power play. And Clark MacArthur did not like the fact that the Canes scored first, so he retaliated and got into a fight with LaRose and won that fight. And then the Leafs were on the power play leader. Unfortunately, they couldn't do anything on the power play. But with 8 seconds to go before the first period ended, Joey Crabb shoots a slow-moving puck, but it somehow managed to beat Cam Ward. And it's a 1-1 tie. It kind of looked like curling a little bit. It was moving slowly, and a couple players were whacking at it, trying to stop it. But it just kept on going and went into the net. But when the first period was done, the game was not, as Grabovski got into trouble with Gleason and another Canes player. Nikolai Kuhlman goes over to help, and Gleason does something that gets the entire NHL world talking. He sucker punches Nikolai Kuhlman 3 times without even dropping the gloves. I mean, yeah, I know that when Kuhlman came to the aid of Grabovski, that a fight was expected, but this was cowardly of Gleason. I mean, he is a professional fighter in the National Hockey League. He should know better than this. I mean, there was absolutely no honor in what he did. Nikolai Kuhlman showed courage and guts in going over to help Grabovski. I mean, if anything, he should be applauded for his efforts. And luckily, Tim Gleason gets a 10-minute misconduct penalty and a 5-minute major penalty going into the second period, which put the Leafs on a 5-minute power play, except the Leafs had a man in the penalty box, so it was 4-on-4 for 2 minutes, and then when it was 5-on-4 for about a minute, Thomas Caberlet gets penalized for hooking. And then it's a 4-on-4 situation, which basically killed the rest of the penalty. And then Skinner, later on a wraparound, everybody thought it was in the net, but the referees couldn't decide whether it was or wasn't in the net. So after 5 minutes of reviewing the play on video, they decided it was a no-goal call, and the fans were really angry because they were given the goal signal, or the goal hand signals at least, and they thought it was a goal. But guys, it has to be conclusive that it was a puck. For all I know, it could have been part of a stick that broke or something. But anyways, after White got penalized and the Leafs couldn't score on that power play, McBain from the blue line scores, and it was a harmless shot, but because Giguère was blocked by Komisarek, he had no chance on that, and it went in, and it's 2-1 for the Canes. And then Skinner and Cole both get penalized later. The Leafs are on a 5-on-3, and the Leafs are 4 of 10 on the 5-on-3 advantages. I guess you can say 4 for 11 now, because for some reason they weren't able to score on Cam Ward. And not only that, but Armstrong gets a penalty later that was somewhat dissected by the second period intermission. And in the third period, that's when the scoring sort of opened up. Sutter scores 3-1 Canes. Tim Brent scores. 3-2 Canes. Crab gets penalized, but Tim Brent scores on a shorthanded breakaway opportunity. 3-3 tie. But then Sutter again scores. 4-3 for the Canes. Although some people were saying it was Skinner, but I don't know. I thought it was Sutter, but anyways, after Sjöström gets a penalty, and Corvo scores to make it 5-on-3 for the Canes, his second goal of the night. And then on the power play, Mike Brown scores to cut the lead to within 1 for the Leafs. Sjöström gets another penalty for holding, and then Boschman is penalized, and once those penalties were killed off, the Leafs pulled Jaguar in favor on the 6-on-4 opportunity. Unfortunately, Cole intercepts a pass and scores. This was a game we had to win. Carolina was in 9th spot, and for some unknown reason that I can think of, the Leafs just couldn't capitalize, and they ended up losing, which we should have won. Well, wow. Well, anyways, the Leafs have the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight, and this is the final game before the All-Star break. So, Leafs, please try to not let Stamkos or any of the Tampa Bay Lightning players score on Reimer, because he is making his return to the net against the Lightning, and I'm hoping if he does, or if he gets a win, that hopefully it'll be a shutout this time, because the Leafs have been shut out 7 times. It would at least feel good to get one shutout win ourselves, even though it's going to be against Rolson, but I still think that the Leafs can beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I'm also very optimistic that the Leafs can still make the playoffs and win the Stanley Cup this year. You can call me delusional all you want, but that's not going to change my opinion that the Leafs are going to make the playoffs and win the Stanley Cup. So, until after the Tampa Bay Lightning game tonight or tomorrow, go Leafs, go!